How's he doing?
One more fighter and we'll get things underway. In the meantime, if you have any questions for myself or maybe Mike Johnson's the operation guy for Bellator, feel free to ask Mike. He's right back there. Mike, raise your hand for us. That's Mike Johnson. Anybody have a question for Mike Johnson? No? I didn't think so. Unsung heroes never get the glory. So if you bear with us for just another moment or two, we've just got one more fighter. He's on his way. Of course, that's Brian Baker. So hang tight. You have, by the way, how many members from the media do we have here? Take a couple, just a quick check. Okay, we got a lot. So formulate your questions. We'll have opening comments, and then I'll run around Donahue style for those of you old enough to know that reference. And we'll take those. Thank you very much. Not many people ever laugh at that. But we'll take questions immediately after our opening comments, and again, we should just be a minute or two away once Brian gets here. So hang tight. We appreciate your patience. His face is Ryan. Oh, look at you. See him run out of here? Ryan is also one of our unsung operations heroes. Any questions for Ryan? Anybody? Show of hands? No. Sorry, Ryan. No questions for you, Ryan. We did just get an update. Brian Baker is on his way. So hang tight for just a moment. Are we live online yet? Oh, that's good. Well, those are my two jokes, so hang tight. I've got nothing else. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, for those joining us live, we welcome you to the post-fight press conference here at Bellator Fighting Championship 72, our second of three here in our summer series for 2012. For those joining us on the live stream, we welcome you as well to our post-fight press conference. We are still on site here at the USF Sundome in Tampa, Florida. We'll turn the microphone over to the gentleman that you see right behind me here for opening remarks, and then we'll go to the room and we'll take those questions. For those members of the media, if you'd please formulate your questions, we'll get to those again just as soon as our opening comments are complete. So with that, let's go right to the table, and starting things off, as always, will be the CEO and the chairman of Bellator Fighting Championships, Mr. Bjorn Rebney.
Quickly, I'd like to give a thanks to our partners here at the USF Sundome and also to our partners at MTV Networks, at Viacom, at Spike, which we will call home in short order, who bring these shows to 100 million homes here in the U.S. and 85 countries around the world, which is just, I think, the greatest television partnership in all of MMA, and those guys do an amazing job working hand in hand with us. I will start off in our first fight of the night, Marius Yaremchuk, Spirit Wolf. I had just talked to Spirit Wolf. I couldn't really understand the sequencing of the fight. Apparently he broke one, if not two, of his hands early in the fight. I think if most of you guys were watching the fight, he was trying desperately to either get feeling in his hands or adjust his gloves. You saw it throughout the fight. And Marius fought a great fight tactically, kept him off, used the jab beautifully. So a great win for Marius Yaremchuk, who I've been a fan of for many, many years, and a guy who will be in our next welterweight tournament kicking off September 28th of this fall. So congratulations, Marius, on a big win. And Spirit Wolf will be back in the cage with us when his hands are up.
Thank you. First, I want to say thanks for my team, AK, and thanks for who supports me. And sometimes you need to have different game plan, because who have tough chin and only looking to take you down, you need to be too different. Sometimes you need to fight different. Always looking to finish fights, knockout, but sometimes you need to be just different. And he was, after my punch, always he stepping back, and that's why was a little bit I was surprised, because he's got two strategy and I have my strategy, and probably my strategy was working better, and I wanted that fight, and I hope so. He understood that, and we fought third time. First time we fought in Texas, one round, and second time we fought in New Jersey, like 2 rounds, and now it was final round. So, thank you.
Unfortunately, in the fight game, you know, you can't always have all of your weapons, and I lost mine pretty early in the fight. Zarov just fought a very good fight. You know, he's a really tough fighter. His highlights, you know, speak for themselves. But you know, I lost my right hand in the first round. Second round, my left, and that's just how it goes. You know, it just wasn't my night. Wasn't meant to be. But you know, I was gonna go down, guns blazing. You know, so I kept throwing them, and I throw them harder and harder. And I try to shake it out. I try to do whatever I could to get feeling in them, but it just wasn't my night. And I wanted to congratulate my opponent, you know, Zaromkis. You know, I feel like you know, it's been a really hard-fought trilogy, and you know, a lot of these fans, a lot of these great Bellator fans really wanted to see this fight again. So I want to thank all of them, and I want to thank Bjorn Rebney for having me back. And you know, I leave it all in the cage every time I fight. You know, and I think you guys were able to see that today. You know, so you know, my hats off again to my opponent. He fought hard. You know, I hit him as hard as I could, and unfortunately, you know, that's how it goes in the fight game. You're gonna have good days and bad days. And unfortunately, I was able to fight hard for 3 rounds, so I did my best today.
Big congratulations to Travis View, who's sitting down to my left. I'm sure a lot of people in this room who have followed the fight game for many, many years, followed it back when there was a Pride Fighting Championships and when there were a lot of other organizations that are now defunct. And there are some old warriors in our game who just kind of hold on and aren't still at the top of their game and are just kind of riding out the wave of past accomplishments. And then there's a gentleman sitting down to my left who was around, who fought in Pride, who fought in a lot of those organizations, but is fighting it really at the top of his game right now. He fought Christian Mpumbu, our world champion, about 1 year and 3 months ago in a hot sun in Arizona, and he beat him the same way he beat Tim Carpenter tonight. He beat him the same way that he beat Chris Davis about a month ago, and he's just getting better and better. Probably the biggest light heavyweight I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how much Travis walked into the cage weighing tonight, but just an enormous light heavyweight who makes weight and maintains his gas tank. And just as an old school fan of this game, to see a guy at this level who's had that many fights coming in and fighting at this level at this time, 1 step away from getting a shot at our world title and being able to challenge for that belt that was not on the line the first time he fought, I just couldn't be happier for him. So a big congratulations to Travis View and to Tim Carpenter. Tim Carpenter is a ridiculously talented fighter who has just evolved in this Bellator banner. He came out as a jiu-jitsu guy. He beat Daniel Gracie, literally beat him on the ground, which is not an easy task for any fighter, regardless of where you're fighting. And subsequently has developed his hands, has been knocking people out, but just ran into a complete freight train tonight. You'll see Tim Carpenter fighting for us again, and I'm sure on the winning end of fights. But a big congratulations, Travis. Big win. Congratulations, bud.
You're making me sound old. Not that old yet. I want to thank Bellator and Mr. Rebney for just the opportunity. Like he said, I've been fighting a long time and for a lot of different organizations, and Bellator is without a doubt the best organization I've ever fought for in 12 years. I want to congratulate Tim Carpenter. He's a tough dude, man. I landed a lot of shots on him, a lot of shots that finished most guys, that have finished most guys in my career, and he was still there in the 3rd round, so I want to congratulate him. He's going to do really well in the future. And I'm excited for the finals. The guy sitting to my right is obviously extremely talented, and I got nothing but respect for him. He trains with a great team. And Ricardo Laborio, when I started fighting 12 years ago, Ricardo Laborio was a legend. So, I mean, that's telling you something. I got nothing but respect for him. Kind of when he walks into a room, and that's kind of what I've did the past few days. When he walks into a room, I don't say nothing. I watch him, and I got nothing but respect for him and the American Top Team, and I'm excited for the finals.
Travis did what he wanted to do, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do, so it's up to bat.
And Attila Vey, who I've been watching fight for a lot of years in Europe, we finally got him over here. He's been his last fight for us was an explosive, great fight. He pulled out a victory tonight against Emmanuel Newton, and a good victory. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you go up against Travis.
Ďakujem pekne, že tu môžem byť. Bellator je veľmi dobrá organizácia. Ďakujem pekne môjmu tímovi, Liboriovi, Richardovi, Mirsad, Zohan, že ste mi pomohli v príprave, Fatih, všetkým. A Emanuel je veľmi dobrý bojovník, silný zápasník a myslel som, že bude zápasiť so mnou, ale stand-up išiel so mnou a je dobrý zápasník.
First and foremost, he wants to thank Bellator and just for being a great organization, and his opponent Emmanuel. I talked to him too, and he wasn't really going forward most of the time because he was worried about Emmanuel's takedowns, but he wasn't really attempting takedowns, and he was striking more, so it really threw him off. And he just wants to thank Liborio and me and the rest of the guys for coming out, and looks forward to fighting Travis.
I just want to thank Bellator for giving me the opportunity to come here and fight in the tournament. I thought I did enough, but I guess I did. So congratulations to Attila, and I wish you the best of luck on the rest of the tournament. Thank you.
Just want to start out, when we were trying to get a fight together for Paul Semtek's Daily, we called a lot of fighters, and we won't name any of them, but a lot of those fighters said no interest whatsoever. Rudy Bear stepped up without a second thought to take this fight, liked the style, and stepped up. So I'd like to thank Rudy for stepping up. He's fought for us a lot of times at Bellator. He's had some great fights, some great knockout wins. He's a very talented fighter. Came in tonight against a guy who I think is, if not the most dangerous, surely one of the most dangerous punchers in all of MMA. And a guy that we recruited for a long time, a guy we're thrilled to have fighting at Bellator, a guy that we think will do electrifying things as we transition to Spike Network, and will be what he is, a made-for-TV fighter who lives by the sword and dies by the sword. So, Paul, welcome to Bellator. Thanks, and a great performance tonight.
Well, I'm just going to keep it short, sweet, and English because I'm hungry and I want a beer. So I'd just like to say thank you to Bellator for having me. Thanks, Rudy, for accepting the fight, and I'll see you all again sometime soon. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. I know a lot of people didn't want to take it stepping into the cage with Paul. He hits pretty hard. But, I like to fight the best people and show that I can hang with the best, so that's what I did tonight. Came up short, but next time, hopefully I come out on top.
I don't know how many people saw this video, but it was many, many years ago. There was a Carl Psycho Amasu video on YouTube. You can probably still pull it up. And it had the music behind it. It was edited nicely, and it was pronouncing what he would become. And he was fighting at 185 pounds, and he was dangerous as could be, and people were expecting amazing things out of him. I remember watching that video, and I remember thinking, man, if I could ever get this guy, this electrifying kind of whirlwind of a fighter to fight at Bellator, I would be very, very happy about it. And he came to us as a 185-pounder, and ultimately decided to break down to 170 pounds, and was able to make weight, focus full-time, step away from being an undercover narcotics agent in France, and focus 100% of his energy on the fighting game, and we've seen the results. His fights have just been electrifying, and a lot of people look at Carl Amasu and they say, hey, he's a pure striker, and if he doesn't take you out early, but I mean, you saw it tonight, you saw it in the Chris Lozano fight, a spectacular, aggressive, quick movement from a submission perspective. That was as pure and as clean as it got, and the leg lock we saw tonight, I don't know that I've ever seen one locked in that quickly, that strong, that tight. Just a great performance against a hugely talented fighter in Brian Baker, who will be back with us in short order. A guy who performed at an elite level for us at 185 pounds. How he ever has made 170 pounds consistently, because he had like no body fat at 185. I didn't have any idea how he'd make 70, but did it. But you're looking at a world-class fighter, and Brian will be back in short order, and I'm assuming still fighting at 170 pounds. But Carl against Ben Askren is something I'm really looking forward to seeing, and you got to see the quick submission game of Karl Amasu, and it's something that I don't think we've seen against our champion Ben Askren yet. So very excited. Big congratulations, my friend. Great victory against you.
Thank you very much, Bjorn. I'd like to thank Sam Kaplan also, because you both really believed in me and you gave me my chance. And now here I am today. It was a long road to arrive here, but here I am now, and I'm gonna fight for the belt, and I'm more than happy about this. And when I stopped working, it changed a lot of things in my life, and now I'm improving all the time, and it's only 7 months that I stopped working, and I can tell you that I'm really far away from my best level, and I try to show new things in every fight, and I think I managed to do it in my last fights. Every time there's something new. In my last fight there were the judo throws, the fight before there were the sweep, and I really try to show something new every time, and I still have many things to show that I can already do, and there are gonna be lots of new things too. So yeah, just be ready for a really exciting fight for the belt. And I can tell you that Ben Askren, I remember Ben Askren kind of joking about me when I was fighting in the tournament qualifier fight. He was saying he didn't know who I was, and that I had 3 very tough guys to beat before facing him, and here I am. So he will have some hard work with me, and I would like to thank Brian for the fight. He's an amazing fighter, a great guy too, and I have a lot of respect for him, and I would like to thank him for the quality of the fight, and I think we'll probably have the opportunity to fight again.
Thank you, Karl. Thank you. Thanks for taking the fight and persevering through all of it, man. You deserve it. You pressed hard. Good work. Bjorn, Bellator, thank you guys so much. I mean, I've been here with this organization for a while, from 185 to 170, and if you think I'm lean on 170, wait till I go down 155. Psych, 170 is hard enough. That's what I told him a while ago, and I accomplished a lot of goals in that. I dropped down and I went and won some fights, and tonight I was ready for war. I was ready to get bloody. Amasu bloodies up his opponents. I was ready to get bloody. I was ready to press through. I was ready to go 3 rounds hard, and he had a different thing in mind. He made it sweet, quick, and easy, so all hats off to him. And I'm not sure if it's October or not. My contract's ending soon with Bellator, so Bjorn said I'm welcome back. I'm looking forward to coming back, and I usually don't tap in submissions, as I once said. I mean, I'm willing to give it all in the cage. I'm willing to leave it all. Take my arm, my leg with you, and things change when you have a little one on their way. My wife popped in my head. My ankle popped a couple times, and I was like, it's not worth it. I gotta bring little beast into this world, and she needs my help, and things need to get done around the house, and all that ran through my head, and things change, so I wasn't willing to give my all tonight. I apologize to my fans for that, and just congrats to Karl Amasu.
Thank you, Jim, very much. For those that might have just joined us on the live stream, we are here at the post-fight press conference, still on site at this wonderful venue, the USF Sun Dome here in Tampa, Florida. Our thanks again to the staff here at the Sun Dome. We will open it up to questions, and Paul Daly has a couple things he needs to do, so we're going to get to these questions quickly. I'm not taking the rap for a long question and answer session, not with Paul behind me. So let's go to our first question, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay Adams, DirecTV Sportsnet. My first Bellator. Thank you, Bjorn. World class. Thank you for treating us so well. I've done some other shows where we kind of get our balls busted on a regular basis, and this was smooth, easy, and nice. So thank you. Thank you guys for great fights, great show. Really appreciated it. I'd like to ask Karl a question. After you won, you were understandably emotional when you were hugging your corner. I'd like to find out what you guys were saying to each other. It was a long hug. What were you guys saying to each other?
Well, I told to my brother that I loved him, and that's it. Yeah, I really love my big brother, and he does everything for me, and he loves me too, I think. That's what he was saying. And yeah, we train hard together every morning, and actually he's the only guy who is killing me on the ground every day. There's nobody in my training partners who is submitting me, and my brother is now 46 and he's still submitting me all the time, and that just makes me crazy. And we train really hard together, and nobody knows his level on the ground, but I can tell you that I've never faced a guy who is so strong than him on the ground, really. And yeah, we were just hugging each other with Bertrand.
You'll still get the check, man. Come on.
So we were hugging with Bertrand and with Jean-Marie, my other coach, and I was just thanking them because we've done such a hard work, and now here we are. And it's sacrifices, it's 2-3 trainings a day, almost no social life, but the price is here now, and here I am.
Quick follow-up to that one. What difference does $100,000 make in your life as a fighter? We all know how hard it is to be a fighter financially. What difference does $100,000 make in your life?
Money is not such a big issue for me. Of course, it's if you tell me you give me $500,000, I will say yes. So Bjorn, maybe if you want to give me a bit more, it's okay. I will be okay with that. But I mean, the money is really secondary. You need enough, of course, to have a good life and to be able to train and travel enough. But what you want as a fighter, I think all the fighters are going to tell you the same, is to I mean, the passionate fighters, the guys who make it really because they're passionate by their sport. You just want to win the fights. This is the most important. And the money, I don't care so much. It's okay. It's good. I'm gonna put it on the side and that's it. I'm not gonna buy a brand new car. I'm just gonna put it on the side and get ready for the next fights.
Thank you, Carl. Our next question.
Hi, thank you, Dion Bellator, Florida Combat Network, CBS Sports Radio. Bjorn, thank you again for your hospitality. Great show here in Tampa, Florida. Congratulations to Carl Amasu for his win. I did want to comment earlier, you mentioned Travis being a huge 205er. That was, in my notes, that was the first thing I saw, Travis. Quick question for you. What do you normally walk around in? What's your normal walk around weight?
I walk around about 250.
Huge. That's a huge weight cut, man. 45 pound. Yeah. Ton of fights also. Congratulations on your victory. Where do you go from here? Over 80 professional fights. Obviously, they like having you around here. Is that weight cut take a toll on you as you get a little older? And where do you look to go from here at this point?
I couldn't do it without my two corners, Nick, Johnny. I couldn't do it without you guys. I'll admit, I mentally break when I'm doing it. I think when we got here on Tuesday, I was 235, lost 30 pounds past couple days, and I hate it. I love eating. That's what I look forward to the most, is going home and eating. So I plan to get the belt in Bellator and defend it, and then retire. I mean, that'll do it for me.
Another question is for Emmanuel Newton. Emmanuel, most of the people that I was sitting with when we were judging, obviously everybody's Monday night quarterback and armchair quarterback, and we had you as the victor of the fight. A lot of the fans, you could hear them, the reaction to taking nothing away, obviously, from Attila. Congratulations, sir, on your win, by the way. But how do you feel that you did on the match? Did you feel that you did enough? You said earlier that you did feel that. So before they announced the victory, did you feel like you were going to get the nod on the victory on this one? And what do you think you could have done better to maybe make that clear in the judges' eyes?
You can never really leave in the hands of the judges. You have some good judges, you have some bad judges. Yeah, I thought I did enough. I thought I threw more technical strikes. I thought in the first round, it could have went either way. But I thought I was pushing the pace more, and I got the takedown. But like I said, you can't leave it in the hand of the judges. Like I said, taking that away from Attila, he's really tough. I was really looking for those takedowns. I think we were both slippery, and and I'm sure he was training for my style of fighting. So I thought, okay, well, if it's gonna be hard for me to take him down, I'm not gonna gas myself out. I felt I could stand with him. So I have a little kooky style stand up. Side kicks, spinning hook kicks, all that stuff that I landed. But I guess the judges saw differently. But I should have done more. I should have pressed the pace more. Obviously I'm not beat up. I'm not damaged. I got hit with a couple of good punches from him. Nothing, made my knees wobbly. As you ask any fighter, that's when you might, have a chance of going down. But I should have done more, but I didn't. Left in the hand of the judges, and that's what happened. But congratulations to Attila, and best of luck to him.
Let's put the call out again for questions. Let's make it a last call for questions. If anybody has a question, final call. And with that, Bjorn, let's go right back to you for closing comments.
Thanks, Mike. Again, big congratulations to the gentleman sitting to my left. We've got a light heavyweight tournament championship coming up that's going to be a great fight. Zaromskis will be in the welterweight tournament. See Paul Daly go again very, very soon. And Carl Amundsen, who's going to fight for our world title against Ben Askren, a fight I can't wait to see. So congratulations, gentlemen.
Let's put your hands together for the fighters tonight in Bellator 72. Again, thanks to our venue hosts, the Sundome, a great place to be. Thank you very much. For those that are joining us in the live stream, we thank you for joining us as well here at the post-fight press conference. That wraps it up. August 24th, our final installment, event number 3 of our summer series, the light heavyweight tournament championship. We'll see you then. For more details, as always, just log on to Bellator.com.